Well, hello again, everyone. On to my next project. Miriam and I, for the past few weeks, have been going crazy, sanding the entire inside of the cabin.
Now that all the trim work is done around the windows and stuff, we have one more pretty major project to do for the house to be complete. We have to sand all the logs. As I was saying, we've done all our trim work and that sort of thing, so the major thing that's left to do is sanding the logs. So that's all the logs. Thank goodness it's just one floor. So we've done the bathroom. I got Brent to do the ceiling logs and the ones up high. I just go as high as I can, because if I get up above my shoulders, then I find that it gets painful. So we've done all these and the ceiling ones all the way around. Yes, we still have to build that box. That's next. And I've been doing some work in the bedroom, which I'm going to continue today. Oops, never mind. So Brent's covered up the heat pump. It was giving me some grief the other day. You can see where I finished there. So we took the pictures down, and that's my job for today. I'm going to continue on from this log down all the way to the corner. And once all the logs have been sanded, we can do some staining. I don't want to change the color of the logs, so it'll probably be some kind of clear stain. And today, Brent is working with the other drill upstairs. The only problem is our batteries seem to die. He's got the one GoPro on time lapse. And the dogs want to go for a walk, don't we, Bailey? Do we need to go for a walk? Wrigley does too. And it's snowing again today. It's like living in a snow globe. So the sanding is a good indoor task to do today. Anyways, we'll get on with it and report back to you in a little bit. So we've been working on getting all these logs sanded on the lower level. We have completed the bathroom. Thank you, dear. So the bathroom is all done. The bedroom is complete. Bedroom is complete. And I've started working on I'm gonna close this so hopefully not too much dust flies in there.
That's why I had it closed earlier.
I've been working on the wall between the door and the window and all the way down to the floor. Brent gets to do the top log because...
Lucky me.
Everything above my head, I have, from years and years of swimming, I have shoulder issues. So it's not a good position for my arms to be holding a drill. They're not light. I mean, they're not heavy, but they're not light, especially when they're running. And, oh, by the way, snowing again. A little bit later this week, we'll be expecting a little bit of rain. So, hopefully not too heavy a rain. And then we'll just have a sloppy, wet, mushy mess. almost complete. I need help with the rest of it though. Brent's still busy with some other projects. I still have to vacuum off the logs, which I'll do with the shop vac. I'm gonna let the dust settle for a little bit here and take the dogs outside. So I've done to the top of the window box. And well, that reminds me, I can still, when I go up there, I can still see some of the red tape. So I'm gonna have to see if I can go in there and adjust it a little bit. Anyways, but vacuuming will be fun. Anyway, I think I'm gonna take the girls outside for a few minutes and we'll stay off the road because it's snowing again and people are coming home from work and I just don't want to get in their way. It's starting to get dark. But, so that part is done. We just need to take everything off the shelves and do that section. And then the ceiling logs. And that's when I pass the torch to Brent. My screen is covered in dust. So am I. Anyways, I'm going to shake out my hoodie outside and close these windows and clean up the mess. Oh. I just saw a spot that I might need to do a little bit of adjustment here. Maybe it's okay. I might have to just do a touch up there. Rats. I was going to tell you about the sanding. So I had given you a quick update where we're at with the sanding a few days ago, and now I've done a whole lot more. So I think I was showing you in this corner over here by the kitchen window. So I've done as high as I can reach because the drill above my head, as I said before, is not a good thing. So with the step ladder, I was able to reach to the middle of that log. So basically to the top of the window cutout and the door cutout. And I did all the way as high as I could reach to the stairs. I did the log at that goes beside the stairs. Still have to do all of the stairs. I did a little piece here, so you can see how much goes off. But I'm not going to do that until we get stain. I'm not sure how long the stain takes to dry, so we're going to have no access to our loft when we do that. And if I sand the stairs off, they're just going to get yucky again if there's no stain on it or any sealant or whatever we're putting on there. I've looked it up and we just have to go figure out where we're going to access it from. So we will go from there. And Brent's going to, when he's done in the bathroom, maybe in a day or so, he's going to do all these top logs, so where I couldn't reach above the stairs, and all the way along the top. And then we'll do a combined thing behind the counter. And then the logs above the kitchen. We've already done the bedroom. And then this final log here. So we have a fair bit of sanding to do. And let me tell you, my arms feels like I've gone to the gym 4 days in a row and just done bicep curls. Because the drill itself is not terribly heavy, but when you're moving it back and forth with the drill bit, and especially we've got one battery that's a little bit bigger, and the batteries haven't been lasting a terribly long time. So yeah, it's a work in progress. Well, we're almost done. The sanding, if that's what you hear, is almost complete. This is the last log that we need to do. And then there's the cleanup. So every day we did a little bit, and then it's like almost equal time cleaning up all the sawdust. You gotta let it sit for a little bit before you can really make it effective. And then next day you just gotta dust everything and vacuum everything again. And what I have discovered is my little Dyson does not like this sawdust. So anyways, I'm gonna go organize myself to start cleaning. probably put my mask back on while I'm in here. Got some windows open. So, anyways. Next up would be staining. I'm going to pick some of that up because we are going to be getting some scaffolding after all. And we're going to sand that. So I guess we won't be done the sanding. I was going to show you just how dusty this was, and I started cleaning already. So we kind of, the tops of these glasses, they have to be cleaned off and put back up top there. I vacuumed up top there. I covered up the toaster. But if you can see the dust on the microwave and the cupboards. So I'm going to clean this all, and then when we finish the ridge beam with the scaffolding here, I'm gonna have to do it all over again. It won't be quite as bad in this area though.
Yeah, right.
Anyways, so the sanding, other than the ridge beam above the chandelier and that center post on the front gable, everything has been sanded, including the stairs, which I might have to attack that a little differently. We did the ends of the stairs. We did the end of the log.
A little higher.
Higher?
A little higher. Tilt it back.
Okay.
There you go.
There we go. Anyways, so I gotta finish vacuuming that log from below, but the alarm went off to take the dogs for a walk. Yes, I set an alarm so they don't get forgotten in the afternoon.
And they know the alarm.
They do. They get very excited. So you can see on the door. Okay. I got some dusting to do, but yeah, we just pulled the stove out. Glad they didn't have the camera rolling then, because there was a half a dog underneath there.
It wasn't a dog fur ball, it was a dog tail.
Oh, well, there's lots of fur there. Anyways, onward and upward. We'll get her done. I did an attempt at dusting the chandelier off, but I looked at the duster and it had so much dust in it, it just was moving dust around.
I just have to use a compressor and get the air gun on it.
Where are you?
That's
there.
about, yeah, get the air gun on it. That's about the only way that dust is coming off of there. Yeah, it's nasty.
Yeah, oh well. Had to be done. Now we just get to clean up. This is what we do. We sand and we clean. We sand and we clean. It's a vicious circle.
Next is stain.
Yeah.
Well, hello everyone. Nice sunny day out. And Miriam and I have been just going nuts sanding the inside of this log cabin. And this is one of the brushes I've been using. Got them at the dollar store. It was great. The ones that I was mainly using were these little Olsen cup brushes. As you can see, it's worn right down. That's about probably a half an inch is worn off of it. And luckily I bought 3 of these little guys, and I've got one left that I just started using, which works really well inside. I started using my angle grinder with a sanding disc on it, but it seemed to take too much off, if that makes sense. I'm going to be using the angle grinder with sanding discs on the outside, because I have to go down to make sure that all of the exterior logs are sanded properly. Like you can see up here, got a little bit of black mold just in the edges here. And I've sprayed a lot of vinegar water on this. This is the only bad section right in the front here in the king truss, right up above me. Down the sides of the cabin, it gets a lot of air movement, so there's not a problem there with mold issues. But that's all got to come off before we do any staining. Since the inside is all done, we're going to be staining it here in a few days, and I've got to go pick up some scaffolding to get to the ridge beam. That's the only last little bit, about 8-foot section of the ridge beam has to be sanded. And then we can just stain a couple spots, see how it looks, see if we want to get more of that particular stain. We're not sure what brand we're going to be using. There is one by Cloverdale. We're going to try the Timberlocks, I think it's called. Sansin was one of the other brands that we were told to get. There's a few brands out there that we were recommended to get. But for now, we're just going to try the one from Cloverdale and see how that goes, and we'll go from there.
Well, guess where I am? I'm on top of at the top of the house. The loft is right there. Here's our big windows looking out the King Truss. Yes, we have a monstrosity in the middle of our living space. It's called scaffolding, so we can finish the project up there. It's quite entertaining. Now we got a little bit taller scaffolding this time, which is problematic for reaching the post down here to sand. So I'm doing the best I can. Whatever we can't do, we'll have to use a ladder and get it from the bottom. Anyways, hi Brent. Did you find the fly spotter?
The only difference, yes I did. The only difference between this scaffold and the last one, we had 2.5. We had 2 full sets and 1 half set. This one is 3 full sets, and we're roughly a foot from the roof on each corner of it. So I can touch the ridge beam from standing on this platform, so we're good.
It saves us having to have too many ladders up here.
Yeah.
It gets a little sketchy. Okay, just wanted to give you an update. We'll show you what it looks like from downstairs in a bit. I think I got all the sawdust off my face. That's the last time I'm gonna have sawdust on me. So I did the center pole up there, and yes, this is what our main living space looks like. The dogs are thoroughly confused. Because first they didn't know how to get over. Bailey tried going under the bottom bar. She's too big. And then she figured out how to go over. So anyways, I'm going to put my boots on and take the girls for a walk. I wore runners this morning to go into town to get the scaffolding. And when I got home and I stepped out in the driveway, everything was squishy. So note to selves, we need more material in that driveway. First, we're going to build a carport though. Anyway, so back to what we were talking about here. Yeah, goes right to the top. We've got the chandelier tied off to the railing. Not sure if you can see that. And we're going to get this done. So this is going to be in the house for, let's see, today is Thursday, all day Friday, all day Saturday, maybe Sunday night. I got a few coats of paint to do, and Brent has to do the boards on the ceiling. So tomorrow morning he's going to sand, and then I'm going to clean all the sawdust up, and then I've got some painting to do, not very much, and we'll go from there. So we'll keep you updated. So I'm just finishing up the trim second coat. I've done 2 coats of the cream stuff. Brent can put the trim up now, and 1 coat of the black to extend the black from the window. Oh, and there goes my alarm to take the dogs out. Okay, I need to get down from here first. Anyway, so I'm just finishing that up, and then I've got a whole bunch of cleanup work to do because we did finish sanding the log up top. And so sanding of the house is completed on the inside. So, gonna finish this up and pass the paintbrushes over to Brent so I can wash them, and then I'm going to clean and dust all the things upstairs, and probably after I walk the dogs. Glad I planned a simple dinner tonight. We are 1 piece of scaffolding down. The trim around the windows is complete. and we just have to do the lower sections. But we can reach that with a ladder. And we didn't take a sample of the window trim with us. And we didn't have enough to finish it. But we can reach the rest of it with a ladder. So we're gonna, when I finished, I'm just gonna get the paint off the top of the ledge there. And when we're done with that, the scaffolding is gonna go outside, and we're going to sand the king truss and stain it. The weather might be okay for the temperature, but we got to do it while we have the scaffolding, as we're going into Creston to take it back on Wednesday when we go there to take Wrigley in for her appointment for her annual checkup. Anyways, I'm gonna get at it. Okay, we get to take down this monstrosity in our living room. Put our light back in place. Ooh, dust it first. It's terrible. So the staining is turning out super awesome. It's bringing out some of the deep reds. Didn't want to change the color of the logs. I made it very clear to the salesperson. I'm like, no, I don't want that one. It says it's got amber in it. So I was very adamant about what we were wanting. So you can see where the stain sort of ends there, because I couldn't reach any further. I'll have to do the rest of that with the ladder. And then over here it's even more vibrant. So all the logs have a little bit of different variations throughout the house. So yeah, we're gonna get this done and get this thing out of here, and then we can do the staining on the outside king truss and the ridge beam. It needs some serious sanding too. That Brent gets to do all of it. We only have one little head left. And I don't know where we're gonna get another one. Anyways, onward and upward. Actually, more, not upward, downward. Well, hello. I've been staining like a crazy person for I think all week. Let's see. I did the kitchen area Friday. No, it hasn't been all week. The kitchen area I did on Friday. Bedroom I did on Thursday. Brent gave me a hand with that. Wednesday we went into Creston to take the scaffolding away. And Tuesday before we did that, I did the staining in here. And we did a little bit outside when we had the scaffolding. We had the scaffolding, we moved it outside, sanded the ridge beam and the logs outside, and not a moment too soon either. I'll tell you why in a minute. So we did all that with the scaffolding, and so now I've just been finishing up the last section. Can you see the difference with the sanded log and the stained log? I'm loving the transformation. So I have that section to do, and then just this little section under the stairs, as well as the pedestal that the stairs sit on. Therefore, we don't have a fire running today. And why was it just on time to finish the staining outside earlier this week? Because it's snowing again. It's literally the middle of March and we're snowing. So by the time you see this, hopefully it'll be all gone. Anyways, it doesn't seem to be sticking to the ground, like the driveway, so much. A little bit on the neighbor's grass and on the golf course. But yeah, I'm gonna close this door and keep winter outside. We're not officially into spring yet. There have been some signs of spring. But yeah, it's snowing again. That's all right. We live in the mountains after all. It's allowed to snow in the mountains. And so I'm just gonna finish this last little bit up, and I will take you around. I probably have stain in my hair. That's why I kind of pulled the front of it back. You know, doing the railings and that sort of thing is, I have to finish that one post. Yeah, it's been a little bit interesting as far as getting into all the little corners and crevices. I've pretty much killed the brush I've been using. I'll have to buy a new one to do outside, which of course we need much different weather than what's going on now. It'll probably be into the summer by the time we get around to doing outside. Anyways, Bailey's putting food on the floor. Bailey, what the heck? Was the vacuum too close to your dish? Pick up your food off the floor, you silly dog. All right, gotta get this done. Hey, Brent, guess what?
What?
The staining inside is done! So happy about that. It's a bit of a smelly affair. Anyway, so I just completed the stairs. We're gonna take the dogs out for the rest of the day. And so they look fantastic. Turns out we didn't have to sand them any further. I scrubbed off all the dirt that's been trucked up and down. I don't think I've washed the stairs since they were installed, so there was a lot of dirt on there. So, but they turned out really great. I'm really happy about that. And oh, I just found a drip. These little drips, I tell you. Anyways, that wraps up all we wanted to share with you this week.
Give us a thumbs up if you like what you see.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Ring that bell for notifications.
Bye-bye for now. So we've ready? Guess I should check my batteries before I start doing some recording. Anyways, I can turn some lights on here too. Anyways, so
On to my next project. Miriam and I, for the past few weeks, have been going crazy sanding the entire inside of the cabin. I had a bunch of Olsen cup brushes, the tiny little ones. I'm going to show you one. Hang on.